Thank you to Prof Clowf, and I move our amendments in the name of Paul Davis. Sadly, because of this Welsh Labour government propped up by Plaid Cymru, we all know that Wales is in the grip of a housing crisis. No one can deny that. But to claim, as Plaid do, that housing conditions in Wales are among the worst in Europe is simply misleading. There is no credible Europe-wide evidence that places Wales at the bottom of the table. Housing conditions vary widely across European countries, and authoritative data on issues like overcrowding and energy efficiency do not single Wales out as uniquely poor. While there are real problems here, they are not exceptional by European standards. That said, I fully acknowledge that poor housing has serious consequences for public health, the cost of living, fuel poverty, and the environment. Cold, damp, and inefficient homes, of course, make people ill. They drive up energy bills and contribute to an increased emissions. But we need to be honest about why these problems exist. They're a result of long-term structural factors built up over decades. Wales has one of the oldest housing stocks in the United Kingdom. We have a much higher proportion of homes built before 1919 compared with England. Many were constructed before modern building standards even existed. This makes them harder to heat and more prone to damp and disrepair. We have the issue of historic underinvestment in maintenance and retrofit, particularly in former industrial and rural areas, and this has allowed problems to worsen over time. Much of our housing was built quickly to serve mining and heavy industry and was never designed for modern living or easy adaptation. This has been compounded by lower average incomes, which has limited the ability of homeowners and landlords to invest in improvements. Add to that the challenges of rurality, off-gas properties, skill shortages in retrofit, a long-standing policy focus on new build over existing homes, and Wales's wetter climate, and it becomes clear why Wales is in the position that it is. Plaid's motion does not offer any real solutions to these problems. Cross-government focus is a nice idea, but the remainder of this Senedd term is a matter of weeks. So what is that actually going to achieve? The fundamental truth is this: supply has not kept pace with demand in Wales, and where some homes should have been knocked down and replaced, people have been forced to stay in them because they have had nowhere else to move to. This Labour government, supported fully by Plaid Cymru over the years, are narrow-minded in that they can only see a way out by building social housing. But this does not support a majority of the population who also have housing needs. Despite what anybody says, successive Welsh governments have failed to build enough homes. Targets have been missed and delivery remains far below what is needed. And the true price is now being paid as more people are struggling to access suitable and secure housing. I and the Welsh Conservatives believe that there is hope if a Welsh government recognised the positive role home ownership can play in addressing these problems, and had policies that reduce the barriers to home ownership, such as scrapping stamp duty in Wales, the land transaction tax, and restoring the right to buy. Home ownership is more than a choice of tenure, it is a mechanism for long-term improved investment in the housing stock and in financial security. Evidence shows that homeowners are more likely to invest in their properties, upkeep and improvements than those without a stake in a home. Surveys of UK homeowners indicate that a majority choose to consistently improve their homes over time, with significant spending on renovations such as energy efficiency upgrades. Over half of homeowners surveyed reported undertaking of planning improvements in the past year, and these investments not only add value, but they combat issues of cold, damp, and energy efficiency. Yes, sir.
Could I just pick you up on one point you made, which is around how eliminating the right to buy would actually strengthen the quality of homes, when social homes are much better quality than private sector housing.
Yeah, and I'll come to that now later on. In essence, home ownership supports financial resilience. Beyond individual households, a higher rate of sustainable home ownership can also have wider economic benefits. When people own and invest in their homes, local supply chains for trade, construction and retrofit services benefit, supporting jobs and economic activity. Longer tenure stability also supports community cohesion and well-being, factors that correlate with better health and social outcomes. This brings me to another crucial point that I believe is fundamentally important. New houses, private or social, should have a build requirement so they're designed for multi-generational use. What I mean by this is that homes are still being built that have limited ability to be adapted for our needs of future generations. What we need are new homes that can be easily upgraded and modified as technology and the needs of families and communities change. Lastly, we can talk all we want about building more homes, but we have to acknowledge that we just don't have the workforce in Wales to meet demand. Continual studies show that we have an aging construction sector, with people over the age of 60 being the largest age group. As they retire, we lose their skills, and this skills gap plays a significant role, with the Construction Industry Training Board estimating that we need an additional 12,000 workers in Wales across the entire housing sector to meet demand. And that's an 11% increase.
You need to conclude now, please, Joel.
Thank you, Private Club. Yet the Welsh Government continues to be silent on this and continues to reject calls to establish a construction workforce development strategy. Until we grasp that ball by the horns, all we debate today in this chamber is just warm words and rhetoric. Thank you, Private Club.